This is Charlie from Two Heels on a Face Wrestling Podcast, recording and on the line with Chelsea Green on behalf of Diva-Dirt.com and the Diva-Dirt.com readers and listeners. Chelsea, how's it going? How's your day?
Good. Thank you for having me. My day is just getting started. It's early on the West Coast.
Yes, that's true. And thank you for joining us, and thank you for being flexible this week. We're going to get into a little bit about just kind of how your 2017 has been overall. And let's start with just a character who has picked up obviously so much traction and popularity, and that is the Laurel Van Ness character. So when talking to some people and saying that, we had the opportunity to talk to you, a question came up, and I thought it was a very good one. And I wanted to ask this question on behalf of a very big Impact fan that I know. And he wanted to know if you have drawn any inspiration from any fictional or non-fictional characters when playing Laurel Van Ness, or if there's anyone you kind of, would have watched and then tried to imitate or kind of implement into that character.
At first, I get that question a lot, actually. At first, I would say no. At first, this character was totally just whatever came out of my mouth and whatever kind of, actions I ended up doing, I just totally went with. Like, I went out there thinking I'm going to have no expectations or kind of thoughts of what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to do whatever comes to mind. But as I have kind of, got the ball rolling with this character, I have been told, that I'm reminded of this person and that person. And so with that, I can't help but sometimes like emulate Courtney Love or even like Paris Hilton, like just all these people that are so ridiculous. But so I take a little bit of inspiration from everyone. There's some indie wrestlers that people are like, oh, like you need to watch this and that, and there's a guy called, can't remember, Deanna just told me this, like Champagne something or like Champagne Dan, like I'm not even sure who it is, but all these kind of random people that I'll pull inspiration from now, because now I know who I am. Now I know what works for Laurel and what doesn't. So I can kind of look, like I took inspiration last month from Paris Hilton with big sunglasses and ridiculous fur coats and things like that. So, as I go, I kind of now I'm starting to take inspiration from others.
Great. And then do you feel that that's helped the character progress in the right direction? Just kind of like starting with that base point and then layering in those other things?
Yeah. And the thing with me is I don't get upset when people try to make suggestions to my character or what I should do. There's a lot of people that get like kind of annoyed with that, and they think, this is my character, I own it, I'm going to do what I want. But like I don't mind if someone has a funny idea or something, some way that they relate to this character. I don't mind humoring them and trying something new out. I think that's what's fun.
Great. Is there, and this is another timely movie right now, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or heard of it, but the movie called The Disaster Artist. And it's a long story. I won't get into it, but James Franco, on the set of it, he stayed in character, this character, Tommy Wiseau, the entire time, and there was a lot of strategy and thought that went into how he got into this character. And I wanted to know if you apply any of those techniques, if you have kind of like a pre-game ritual to kind of get into that right mindset or of Laurel Van Ness, or if you have to go stand away from anyone to try to switch that on.
Well, okay, I do find it's difficult, and the girls, in the locker room see me kind of struggle with this. I find it's difficult to go from taking time off. Like right now, I've taken about a 3-week break from the independent scene, and the next thing that I'll be doing will be Impact tapings in January. I find that very hard, because when I'm at tapings, I do like to somewhat stay in character. Not when I'm not in hair and makeup, but the minute I get in hair and makeup, I like to goof around. I like to start getting in character, act ridiculous. People, suggest things to me, and we run through things, backstage, and I like that, and that's fun, and that gets me warmed up, and that means I can step out, onto the ramp and do whatever I want and feel totally confident. But there are definitely times when I struggle with that, when I take a step back and I get out of character and I have to jump right back in. So I think that kind of method acting is so smart. I mean, I'm not one who's going to do it 24/7, but to an extent, I will do it a couple hours before the show starts, and we get such a kick out of it.
That's great. So 2017 year in review. It's been a wild and crazy year, you could say, for you, at least from the outside perspective, my perspective. I'm sure you have a whole different one. I would like to know if you have, and obviously a lot of the independent scene has been great to you, but a lot of success also has come from the character that we've been talking about. Is there a favorite moment or proudest accomplishment on the indie scene outside of Impact that really resonates with you in 2017?
Gosh, there's so many little things. I was very proud of my match with Joey Ryan, which is funny because we really did nothing in that match. But I'm always proud when I can do something that gets a little bit of buzz. But there were two matches that I felt went somewhat unnoticed with Britt Baker at IWC in Pittsburgh, and I wish that got a little more buzz and attention. But those are two really fun matches, really solid matches that both of us really, really enjoyed. There were a couple things I was really happy with this year, and just like you said, the independent scene has been so good to me this year and given me a lot of opportunities. So I feel very lucky.
Right. Is it in 2017? Has it kind of been an even flow or a steady rise, or when did you kind of feel this year the momentum pick up? Was it one of those matches where you had that match and then kind of got in the zone this year, or how has the flow of the year?
I think it was around the end of January or February, early February, where Britt and I had those matches. And in that time, I was starting to get booked a little bit around the States. I was living in the States, but I think I didn't know that. So I was starting to get booked around the States in February. And I really felt like that's when it picked up, and it's just got better and better. And it was a really solid year full of bookings.
What would be something that you learned about yourself this year? Maybe like a self-awareness lesson or something that you kind of unlocked or found out about yourself?
I think I learned that I should probably have a little more faith in myself. I always tell people I'm so new, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure it out, and I feel a lot of people give me this responsibility. Gosh, even the Impact title being won, where I'm like, I sit back and I think, can I live up to this? Do I have enough training under my belt? And I think I just need to go with the flow and realize, hey, I'm good at this job. I can learn while I go. You know what I mean?
Right. It's great that you say that, and I think that's someone that any person who is trying to accomplish something kind of has those feelings of, I don't know, I want to say if self-doubt is the word, but anyone has those creeping feelings that are going to creep in eventually. And it's good that you, at least, the first step is recognizing that they're there, right? And then the second step is finding a way to deal with them, and then pushing through and accomplishing what you need to do. So I think that's a very good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything technical wise or like inside of the ring, in-ring action that you learned this year, or something new, maybe a new move or submission, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, I think I learned or was able to build on to learning how to call an entire match when it's just, when the only person I can rely on is me to remember. I've always been the new girl in the ring, and I'm starting to get to that kind of point where I am put with girls that are newer than me and girls that I need to be confident. I need to be confident with myself. I need to get in there and know no matter what this girl does, no matter where we get lost in this match, I can pick it up and I can lead this match and I can take it home.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what I learned this year. And I'm still working on that, and I'm still learning that, but I feel much more confident this year in my ability to lead anyone in the ring.
Great. And that's a great word, lead. Do you feel yourself stepping into a leadership role in more of the locker rooms that you're in because of, just you have another year under your belt and success you've had lately, and you've been put in the responsible position to lead matches?
Yeah, and I feel because now that I'm down in the States, I have worked a lot of the great workers in the U.S. and around the world, and I feel now people are kind of like, oh, okay, well, yeah, she's like a solid worker. She can get through the match. She didn't need me to get her through the match, and all you need to do is just prove yourself once to the girls, and then they understand. And so, yeah, I have started to take on that role now where the girls are like, no, you can lead this match. No, you can get through it. No, you can put together this match. I know you can because, you got through our match. And that's a great feeling. And then it's also so scary, I still feel like I'm in my first year and trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing.
That's interesting. Yes. In terms of 2018, so looking forward to it. By the way, those are great answers. Thank you for being transparent.
No problem.
Goals for 2018 or things that you want to accomplish, at least and everyone kind of sets goals in different ways. Anything, I guess you say immediate goal or something that you've noticed and something that you wanted to accomplish upcoming in 2018?
Well, I've got a couple different ones. Within work, I would say, my goal is to train more. My goal is to expand my move set and my transitions from move to move.
Okay.
And because, and I should not have done this, but I will not lie. I totally, for the first time, looked myself up the other day and saw some really terrible comments. And, granted, you can't. Yeah, exactly. And you can't, go and base your whole day off of what someone said on the internet. But it really did shake me when people are saying stuff about my technical work in the ring because, all you can do is train and try and work on yourself to get better. And I do constantly do that. But reading some of those negative comments about my work in the ring, I was like, okay, I'm going to try not to get upset over this. I'm just going to get in the ring and I'm going to train. And so that is my goal for 2018 is get in the ring, train as much as I can, and try to not give people any reason to say anything negative about me or my wrestling, which is never going to happen. But, all you can do is work really hard and try.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Usually negative comments are a sign that you've made it. So, and it's glad that you've.
That is true.
It's really good that you have seen those, right? But then spun it into a positive. Although it probably those comments probably had some hatred behind it. You've kind of dusted it off and said, okay, well, this could be I could put this into something constructive and find a way to use it.
I do want people to be honest with me and tell me when I need to practice more, when I need to train more, when I need to give up a move and try something new. I want people to be honest with me. And so as much as that hurts to see and it bruises your ego a little bit, it's still, it's like a reminder, like, okay, you're not too good to get in the ring and train and practice.
Right. Great. So I noticed a gentleman by the name of James Ellsworth. He tweeted out a photo and it had your name on it for 2018. So any thoughts on that?
That really excites me. And that really, really excites me. One, because I never thought I would be on someone's list, even if it's like a parody list or not.
Right.
Really excites me. And also, I think my character is so ridiculous, and he has so much experience working with females and working with ridiculous characters. I think we could come up with such an awesome match and something so different and special. and I hope that someone in 2018 books it. I actually already messaged Joey Ryan, and I was like, "Hey, Joey, bar wrestling, me versus James."
Yeah, that's. I think I'm getting goosebumps just thinking of what the magic that could happen. So that's very exciting.
Oh, it would be so awesome! I love it so much.
Great. So I have two guilty pleasure fan questions here that I wanted to ask really quick, and then one question to take us home. So this is a question that I just like to ask people when I do talk to them, because at the end of the day, we're all fans of wrestling, right? So
Yeah.
as a fan, and also because there's so much good wrestling out there, like the overall depth of the wrestling world is really great right now. So as a fan, what wrestling have you been watching lately?
Well, I try to keep up with everything that I can.
Okay.
I try to. It's great having Twitter now because I see all the gifs. So I love that I get to see the New Japan gifs, and
Yeah.
the Noah gifs, because those are things that, because I shouldn't say because I'm a girl, but because I'm a girl, I like to watch female wrestling. But when I see, like, gosh, the luchadors and the Japanese, when I see those things, I'm like, what am I doing watching American wrestling? Like, that is the creativity. That's the amazing stuff I need to be pulling inspiration from. But to be honest, I try to mostly keep up with the mainstream female wrestling. So all of our Impact stuff, all of Impact from history, all of WWE present and past. I don't watch as much NXT right now, but I do keep up with all my girlfriends in NXT that have matches, and when there's something, that's going on that's getting a lot of talk, I definitely sit down and watch that.
Right. And then, obviously being local to Chicago, when are you going to see you in Chicago next?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's funny, even though I have the Impact title, my 2018 is looking very slow. So I hope that I'm there before April. But right now, I believe around April is my first date. But I'm hoping that it will be before then, because I love the Chicago crowd.
Yes. We can be very energetic at times, a little overzealous as well. Great. And then last question, I guess, if you could summarize the year in a word or a sentence or a phrase or just whatever comes to your mind to summarize 2017, what would that be?
Gosh, I would say this year has been the most crucial year of my wrestling career and life thus far. So I think crucial is the word. It has just completely done a 180 of my confidence, of my skills, of my kind of notoriety in the wrestling world. Everything. It's been such a crucial year for me. So I'm very, very happy.
That's great. I like that word. And we wish you success and continue to build on this crucial year. But before we go, we'd like to give you the opportunity to talk about any upcoming dates you have or where people can find you on the internet. So you have the floor.
Yes. Well, right now, coming up January 10th to 15th, we have Impact Wrestling at Universal Studios. And we took a break. We didn't do tapings in November at Universal. So I'm very happy to be back local again, 10th to 15th at Universal Studios.
Okay.
And yeah, you can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter at I'm Chelsea Green, and Instagram, Chelsea A. Green. And I just finally opened up my pro wrestling tees store. So it's
nice.
Yeah, for the first time. I can't believe I just did this. It's so ridiculous. But I've got about 6 new t-shirts, and it's prowrestlingtees.com/Chelsea Green.
Great. And I know they just opened up an actual outlet walk-in store on the north side here. I believe the neighborhood is around Logan Square in Chicago. So if you do come, and I think you said early April or around there, make sure to stop there and make a visit. I'm sure that'd be just great for your fans.
Oh, I definitely will, and I'll let everybody know when I'm doing that.
Okay, great. Chelsea, thank you so much for your flexibility. Thank you so much for your time, and continue to build on your success. We wish you the best of luck and have a great holiday.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas and have a great holiday.
Take care.
Bye.